Very good afternoon, sir. What a delight it is to have you in our campus today as part of the leadership and learning workshop. And also, we thought that your book, Leading from the Back to Achieve the Impossible, along with your co authors, Harry Paul and Ross Reck, would be a very interesting way to start off this candid conversation today, especially because the title itself is very, thought provoking, that leading from the back to achieve the impossible. This is Sir's book. And on that good note, we have today Mr. Ravi Kant, a visionary leader, author, and was a former CEO of Tata Motors, which we all know. So, welcome to our podcast
Thank you.
here at the Assam Royal Global University.
Thank you.
And could you give us a little insight on this very leading book on achieving the impossible?
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me. Well, it's not a management book, usual management book. It is a parable. It's a story. And through a story, what I've tried to do is to distill my 5 decades of experience into something very simple uh, as to how you need to act like a leader, not in a command control type, but with the great humility and with becoming a facilitator and coach and and helping others
Right.
to do it. How to create a powerful team? I think if you were to ask me, the central point in the book is how you can create a powerful team. And if you create a powerful team, that powerful team then can go to do something impossible and many impossible tasks that they can accomplish. And how do you create a powerful team? There's only one word. That word is called trust.
Right.
If you create trust, you build a powerful team, and that powerful team can go on to do some impossible tasks. So that's really the central theme in the book.
And sir, you are known for valuing teams and human capital, like you just mentioned about how you how you've taken the lead over here. How would you balance the hard edge of business with the soft edge of empathy?
So the book is has got 3 parts. How should I be? How should I build a strong, powerful team? And how should I kind of test the limits of opportunities? So in that, the last one, testing the limit is seeing how you can see the opportunities
Right.
and then work backwards from there. What I call is outside in. And the third part in that is be tough softly. Be tough softly. So as far as accomplishment of goal is concerned, you need to be relentless and very tough on reaching there. But as far as people are concerned who are doing it, you need to be humane. You need to understand that they are people like you and I, and therefore they will have also their personal challenges,
Right.
and we should be taking care of those personal challenges.
So, as a leader, you've made unconventional bets. What's the one risk that you took that today you're very glad of taking that risk?
You see, if you ask me, there is no one risk. I have been taking risks all my life.
Right.
In fact, I've worked in 7 companies, and each of those companies I went into, I didn't have any prior knowledge of the industry. So people in the company were far more knowledgeable and far more technically competent than I was.
Right.
And therefore, you can say by stroke of luck, by whatever it is, by chance, I got into those companies. God has been great because He's given me several chances. So, what did I do? I mean, if people were more competent than me technically, so what did I do? So, that's what I'm trying to tell you is that we were able to build powerful teams.
Right.
And that those powerful teams went on to achieve some impossible tasks. In case of Tata Motors, as you know, they brought the turnaround from a loss making to profit making in 2 years' time. We took over Daewoo Truck Company in South Korea. First time we took over Jaguar Land Rover in the UK, and iconic brands. People said no.
That was, as it is, sir, a landmark moment in Indian history.
It was.
Yeah.
I think it was, and people were very skeptical. And people said, "Ki, a company which didn't have much experience of cars, how they're trying to get a luxury car brands." And that was something which people were very astonished. And they felt that along with Jaguar Land Rover, Tata Motors itself is saying. But the reality is that we bought the company for $2.5 billion.
Wow.
And after 2 years, it is Jaguar Land Rover which was leading Tata Motors in both top line and bottom line.
So was it more of instinct or analysis?
I think it's always life is neither just instinct or just analysis.
Combo.
It is a
combination.
mixture of combination of those two. And you can say that it was instinct from Mr. Tata's side and it was analysis from my side, and therefore we combined together to go for it.
Sir, I'm yet to do this book, but I've heard so much about it. But what is that one tough principle that you hold very close to your heart as a visionary leader?
To be true to yourself, authentic, absolutely authentic. You are so transparent, you're so equitable, so fair, in the sense that your ability to create trust. That to me is the most powerful idea that I've learned in my life. To be able to create trust. Once you have done that, rest of the other things fall in their places.
So, like in theater that we do, it's all about trust.
Yes.
And you just shared your experience about how you were leading as a CEO and your main principle was trust. So, on vision building, what was the big step that you took into the various companies that you led?
You see, I don't create the vision. The team creates the vision. And therefore, when you have, and especially in today's environment of increasing uncertainty, unpredictability, disruptions, you cannot have command and control type of organization. With the information exploding,
Right.
you cannot have one person who will control things. So you need to have distributed leadership. You need to have adaptive organization. And therefore, if you don't create that environment of trust, collaboration, and leveraging strength, you cannot sustain yourself in today's time. It is what we call is now the new ROI of 21st century. That is risk of inaction. If you don't act now, then you will get drowned, period.
But I'm still very curious about this question that I've had in my mind, that from a truck manufacturer to a luxury automobile leader, what was that obvious dream that you all had then?
So let me confess, actually, I came in after Mr. Tata had already decided on that. And it was an evolutionary process in Tata Motors. We started off with automobiles, then we came to trucks, then we came to smaller trucks, then we came to passenger cars,
Right.
then we came to luxury cars. So it has been evolutionary process in that road, and that's what we have been. And each step we have been learning. Many things we have learned, how to improve quality, how to improve customer satisfaction, and things like that. So it has been an evolutionary process for Tata Motors, and I have been fortunate to be, I've been part of it for 15 years.
Team long years. And when young leaders take a plunge and when they read about your leadership from the back to achieve the impossible, what do you think they should remember in your personal journey, if you could share with us on these lines, sir, on the lines of your book?
No, young people today have great ideas.
Right.
And therefore, first is they must have tenacity. They must have the tenacity to hold on to that idea and carry on. But at the same time, they must have an open mind,
Right.
because they must understand that they don't know everything in today's world. And therefore, they need to reach out to people who can bring out different aspects and decrease their risk of failure. Because if you don't know, if you You can start with a brilliant idea, but if you begin to think that I know everything, then you are creating the same problem as a command control type of boss used to do at the age of 55, 60 years, that I know everything. So if you begin by saying that I know everything, then I think that's the biggest mistake you are doing. And therefore, you may have brilliant idea, be tenacious to stick on to it, but please at the same time have an open mind to take ideas and suggestions from people around you, who will then enrich and make it increase the probability of success.
Sir, I visited your corporate office in Bombay, and I was very impressed with how silent the office was. And this is something a lot of people, when I tell them, they get very intrigued and curious about that. How did it all happen? And what better way, apart from the message that you've put into the young leaders, what created that silent atmosphere in your office, especially your head office in Bombay? What was the
So
idea?
we are not a shouting and chest beating tribe, so to say.
Right.
Tata Motors byline is leadership with trust. That means you trust each other. You know, trust is a small, looks a small word, but it is a very powerful impact, because it can do so many things. It can avoid so many things,
Right.
bad things from happening.
Right.
And therefore, once you have that, people are busy in their jobs. People are talking to, going across and talking to each other. So you don't have to shout to make a point.
True.
And in this world of noise, it is actually silence which makes a point rather than noise which makes a point. In today's, the whole environment is full of noise these days.
I personally will keep this very close to my heart because I've always liked moments where there's silence. I think it's a ample time, space to think. Similarly, with your kind of visionary leadership, I'm sure you had a lovely time in all the places that you led. And so, good luck on the book. I'm sure there are more projects. Would you like to share one of your projects that's on the pipeline on writing? More importantly,
Well, not so much on writing, but to spreading this philosophy, because we feel very committed and very passionate about this. Is not my philosophy. I think this is a universal philosophy. And when people to adapt this, then you will see that they are able to think in a different manner.
right?
So instead of trying to extend the past into future, they begin to look at the opportunities, which are very big. They create happy organizations. So it makes a huge difference. So we are collecting as a group, informal group. Anybody is welcome to come together, and we are trying to collect and try to take it further into business schools, universities, in companies. We have just signed up with Royal Global,
Thank you very
a
much.
kind of
Yes.
memorandum of understanding and agreement that there's nothing legal about it, but it is a moral obligation from both sides
Right.
to promote this philosophy of lead from back.
Lead from
We have
back.
done it other places. We have done it with two Tata companies
Right.
and with NGOs and other things. So we are going ahead and doing it. Thank you.
And for the last 2 days that we're here in our campus, is there something that you would like to share? Something that touched your heart, your mind about the interactions you've had on our campus here in Guwahati?
I think the most important thing is, I'll go back to trust, the
True.
warmth, the genuineness, the authenticity
Right.
that we have experienced from
Right.
coming down from plane.
Right.
I think it's been just amazing. And within a short period of 2 days, we have been able to build that trust. I mean, actually, it's mind-boggling
I'm so glad to hear
how within 2 days you are able to both.
that.
So
Right.
it's something for global university and something for us. I think we were able to connect with each other in a very, very strong manner.
We'll also take that as a blessing, sir. And to bring this to a close, what a delight it was to have sir in our campus today. And for the last 2 days, actually, but more so in this podcast. Lots to take away. And thank you for sharing your insights. More on the book.
Thank you.
And best wishes, sir.
Thank you.
And keep blessing us as well.
Thank you.
Thank you so very much. Good afternoon. Namaste.
Namaste.